How are you feeling?
Well,
How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
Some idea.
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them. I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do, and this influences my thinking and consequently my action.
What is it you're trying to do with your life?
Play the piano for people.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.
is the end. There's a noise inside my head of crying people facing death. Is this the end? Is this the end?
He's calling out cults and conspiracies wild, Gnostic sex cults and theories compiled. But one question's raised and it's blocked on the spot. No room for dissent in the world he's got. But the crowd starts to laugh and they're starting to see a whole lot of words that just don't agree. Oh, Emperor James, are you feeling the breeze? Might wanna look down, see what's caught at the knee. He's the Emperor with no clothes, strutting around like nobody knows, shouting loud, thinking he's wise, but he's bearing it all to everyone's eyes. He's the Emperor, yeah, with no disguise, slipped down by his own price. Your fat is an intellectual line. Oprah's got mind control, powers divine. He's calling Saint Michael the devil in charge and telling the Catholics they got it too large. Oh, James, don't you know it's a tricky game when you're calling out folks but you're doing the same. You say it's a truth only you understand, but the crowd's got a mirror showing just where you stand. He's the Emperor with no clothes, strutting around like nobody knows, shouting loud, thinking he's wise, but he's bearing it all to everyone's eyes. He's the Emperor, yeah, with no disguise, stripped down by his own pride. Start to fade and the truth comes around. His theories unravel like threads on the ground. The court starts to giggle, the people all cheer, for the emperor's naked, the truth's finally here. He's the emperor with no clothes, strutting around like nobody knows, shouting loud, thinking he's wise, but he's bearing it all to everyone's eyes. He's the emperor, yeah, with no disguise, stripped down by his own pride. So here's to the lesson, let's give it a toast to emperors walking in nothing but boast. Join Carlin's cult and open your eyes. She's here to expose James's epic lies.
A true Polish patriot.
Carlin B. said
We love the
$100.
Poles.
Exceptional monologue tonight. You're the only commentator who can be trusted to tell the truth. I do not regret voting for you at all. The far left is already organizing and about to start causing a lot of problems again, and they're going to poach heavily from the Democrats. It will be worse than people think.
Thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Carlin. You know what? And Chris Brunet went against you. That's how I knew he was a total fucking asshole. He went against Carlin. I said, that's it. That's it for him. Time's up. Anyone that goes against Carlin, expiration date is on its way. It's right around the corner. As goes Carlin, so goes the Groyper. That's what they say. She's like the Ohio. Only in Ohio. She's the Ohio of Groypers. If someone doesn't like, if they're not down with Carlin, typically, they have some deep personality flaws. You've been loyal. So surprising, because everybody said, oh, she's terrible, blah, 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 because you're from the left or whatever. But you're the only one that's been loyal over the past couple of years. Not the only one, but one of the only ones. So thank you very much for your loyalty and the kind words. I appreciate you. We're going to war against James Lindsay. You keep James Lindsay up at night. I got to come and visit you in his head where you live rent-free. I got to come and visit Carlin. Knock, knock. We're inside James Lindsay's brain. We're inside Chris Rufo and James Lindsay's brain, where she has taken up a residence there permanently, and she's performing. She's doing shows there. She got a 10-year contract to do her talk show. No, but thank you very much. You're right. The left is going to come back pretty hard. Empire Strikes Back again.
Blackjack said
we'll
$50.
see.
Nick.
I'm back. I'm back. I am back after the election night spectacular. I gotta be honest. Can I just tell you guys? I think I'm still hungover. I am still not feeling great. I actually spent like half the day in bed today. I got up early. I was like, okay, like I basically took yesterday off because yesterday was rough. I got drunk on election night. I had a sangria at dinner, almost 2 full bottles of champagne, and 8 shots. Okay, there are people on the internet who call me an alcoholic, but like, you have to understand, I don't actually drink that much. I really don't. I was like, I wish I was an alcoholic, man. I fucking wish I was an alcoholic, because I probably wouldn't have felt as miserable as I felt for the last 2 days if I had actually been an alcoholic. And so I thought this morning, I was like, yeah, I sucked on way too many buttery nipples. It's true, I did. And so I thought, like, okay, just take yesterday off, like, you know, lick your wombs, like whatever. You know, election night was a big night. I don't mind being a little hungover after election night. But then I woke up today and I was still feeling, yeah, my stomach was like, what the fuck did you do? Because that wasn't cool. Like, don't ever do that. My stomach is making sure that I understand that I'm literally never allowed to drink like that again. Because I ended up, like, I got up earlier today and I was like, okay, we're going to sit down. We got to do work. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to post. I'm going on a road trip on Saturday. I have a lot of stuff I need to get done. And I was like, and I couldn't do it. I was just sitting here and my eyes were like closing. I was like, And so I went back to sleep for 3 more hours. And I was like, we're doing it. We're going to stream. And not only are we going to do 1 stream today, guys, we're actually going to do 2. Because we are talking right now. See, yeah, well, this is normally my go-to. I normally smoke weed. I don't drink. I smoke weed. But election night was special. And you know, here we are. So anyway, guys, this is going to be our first stream. We're going to do a little bit of a debrief about a couple things and just watch some updates from the far left. But we're also going to be doing another stream because both tonight and tomorrow we have spy stream. So the left has already started organizing. The left has already started getting their, and quite frankly, they had started getting their stuff together before the election. I think it was pretty clear to everyone that Trump was going to win. Well, it was pretty clear to most people. It may not have been clear to the progressives and the people that obsess over MSNBC. But I think to the far left, and remember, the far left hates the Democratic Party. They don't like progressive media. They don't like any of that. The far left knew that Trump was going to win, I think. And so they were already prepared and they were already organizing. And so we have not 1, but 2 spy streams this week. We have one tonight. It's going to be starting in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. This is going to be a public spy stream. Normally my spy streams are supporter only. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the one tomorrow as supporter only or if I'm going to do it publicly yet. I have to find out. And it's kind of based on how the organization does it and whether or not I'm going to get in trouble for streaming it. But we are going to be going inside a leftist training. It starts about 8 o'clock at night. This is going to be with the, actually, I'll just even show you what it is. It's this. It is with the Working Families Party. The Working Families Party is a socialist organization. It's a socialist political party. They actually do get people elected to office in Philadelphia and New Jersey. And they are starting this organizing call, making meaning of the moment. Post-election mass call, Donald Trump will be returning to the White House in 2025. It's up to us to build a movement that will fight for each other over the next 4 years. Join with members of 200 plus progressive organizations. So this is not going to be strictly socialist. There's going to be a lot of progressives, and we know that progressives and socialists are not the same thing, but it will still be informative, which is why we're doing it. As we move quickly to make meaning of the moment, lay out concrete actions people can take this week, and share our thoughts on the path forward. So that's going to be tonight at 8 p.m. Now tomorrow, we're doing this one. This is the Party for Socialism and Liberation, which we've tracked a lot. These are actual socialists. They ran a presidential and a vice presidential candidate. And this is the People's Forum in New York City. We've watched the People's Forum a couple times for Socialism Saturday. People's Forum is so the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and Claudia de la Cruz was the presidential candidate for the Party for Socialism and Liberation. They are absolutely socialist. They're actually Stalinists. They're actual socialists. They're very, very far left. People's Forum is a little bit different because People's Forum absolutely has some far left people involved in it. People's Forum also has some more progressive do-gooder hippie types involved in it. So it's a little bit of both. And I think they're hosting it actually at People's Forum. Let's see. We've got Breakthrough News. We might be watching a little bit of Breakthrough News. Breakthrough News is like a socialist, like on the ground reporting YouTube channel. We've got the Palestinian Youth Movement. That's absolutely socialist, and Party for Socialism and Liberation again, absolutely socialist. And so this is a hybrid event that's taking place at the People's Forum. They will be streaming it. I do have access to that. I will be finding out more tomorrow about whether or not I'm going to do that as a public spy stream or if it's going to be a supporter-only spy stream. And so I will let you guys know that information. And really, it just depends on, like, how much trouble am I going to get in for streaming this? Because sometimes when I'm really like, these are not deep infiltrations. I'll be honest with you. This is like you sign up for the meeting, you get a code. This is like pretty easy infiltration. A lot of the more supporter only spy streams that I do, we actually have to jump through hoops to get access to them. And if they find out we're streaming them, they can kick us out, or it causes problems, or they cancel the meeting or stuff like that. So most of the supporter spy streams are they're a little bit more kind of like in-depth infiltrations. These are kind of general meetings that we're just kind of going to see what they're talking about. But I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be both tonight and tomorrow. Yo, we've already got some super chats in. We got Nick with the member for 25 months. Thank you, Nick. Nick telling everyone, especially the Groypers, not to go against Carlin or they are. Well, he didn't exactly say that, but, you know, I mean, he was very nice. And we're going to talk more about that in a second. I was very happy and satisfied, and I'll say more about that in a moment. He has a lot of respect for you and well deserved. You're always right. Thank you, Nick. And then Eberific with the big super chat, late contribution for election coverage. Hey, I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate the support. Yeah, so that was kind of like, that was a little bit of a thing last night, right, with Nick. Nick saying some very nice things about me on his stream. Now, I did send him $100 super chat, but like, listen, first of all, I like supporting the work of creators that I appreciate. I thought Nick's monologue last night, if people haven't had a chance to watch Nick's monologue last night, I truly thought it was exceptional. Nick has been triggering people all over Twitter. It's actually been hilarious. Actually, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Nick is like in his element on Twitter right now. And guys, if you don't understand Nick's sense of humor, I understand why this might be why it might be weird, but Nick basically had this like clip just go up to 39 million views now on this tweet. Nick had this thing where he was basically being a little like fucking bastard on his stream. He was like, yeah, men win, women down forever, your body, my choice, and like all this stuff. He was talking about how there's never going to be a woman president and all this stuff. And it's just gone so viral and it's so hilarious. And I don't even care. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. Nick is a master ball buster, or baiter. Well, ball buster or masturbator. Not masturbator. No, he doesn't do that. Nick would never do that. He is a good Catholic boy. So he got all these women. All these women are complaining about Nick and all this stuff. The tweet that he sent that I really loved, I thought this was hilarious. Wait, what's this? Yeah. I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank men for saving this country from stupid bitches who wanted to destroy the world to keep abortion. Oh, yeah, I got baited. I did. I got baited. It's true. It's because I'm hungover. You guys have, like, this was a great tweet. I can't believe we did it again because everyone got so pissed off at Nick. They're like, you went against Trump, you asshole. And Nick's like, fuck you. I mean, but I really did appreciate the kind words that he said about me. And that was pretty great. And I have to be honest, there's no one that's more upset about this than Chris Brunet. Is Chris Brunet still crying about this? Hang on. Chris Brunet has been bleeding followers. I think Chris Burnet's like lost like 2,000 followers or something like that. I think it's something in that vicinity. Ever since he decided to go against the Groypers, Chris Brunet we tried. Listen, I tried so hard. I tried so hard to be nice. I tried so hard to say, Chris, welcome. We might have common enemies. Maybe we should work together. Maybe we should try to drive James Lindsay crazy together. And then Chris Brunet was like, no, fuck you, blah, 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 and he made this big old stink. And I called it at the time. I said, he is not woken up. He is not to be trusted. And there were many people who didn't believe me. But now they do. Because Chris Brunet has lost his ever-loving mind. Look at this. Chris Brunet is like obsessed with the Groypers. He's talking about Beardson. Nathaniel! Just wanted to thank you for your perspective on TRH podcast following the election on Substack. You bring hope to the situation, and I hope we're going to be able to wake people up now. Yeah, I think you meant the podcast. Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I really do appreciate that, Nathaniel. Listen, I'll talk about this a little bit more. I actually feel good. We're going to do a whole debrief on Trump and what I think all this means. I'm just getting some early drama stuff out of the way. I actually feel really good, to be honest. Like, I feel like we are now in a position to educate more people about what the real far left is. We are in a better position than we ever have been. And I think that it was almost like Trump needed to win for that to happen, because now people are going to see clearly. Now there is no more line that can be pulled where people like James Lindsay are like, Kamala Harris is a communist, the Democrats are communists. Well, guess what, assholes? Trump controls everything, and the far left is still going to be there, and Trump isn't going to be able to stop it, and we're going to talk more about that. But I do actually have a lot of hope moving forward. I think we're in a really good position, and I think it's going to be really exciting. But let me go back to drama first. Thank you, Nathaniel, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Chris Brunet is apparently complaining about Beardson right now. He's complaining about the Groypers. He's complaining about me. We'll talk. Like, Chris Brunet is so tweaked that I got a special shout out from Nick that he's does everyone remember this old screenshot? He's dragging out this screenshot where I say that grooming is free speech. Well, guess what? Guess what, bro? Guess what? It literally is. And I say that having exposed quite a bit of grooming in schools. I don't like grooming in schools, but I know what grooming in schools looks like. And do you know what it looks like? It looks like exactly what we exposed in Burlington, Vermont over 2 years ago with guidance counselors teaching kids that they're queer and trans in elementary school, and then doing it live on the internet where the kids have to play out this role. This is what grooming in schools looks like. This whole conservative propaganda myth about it's all about child sexualization is just completely untrue. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen ever. Of course, there are always onesie and twosie incidents where children are actually going to be sexualized, and I've done stuff about that too. But the vast, 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 vast majority of grooming in schools has nothing to do with sexualizing kids. Has nothing to do with it. The vast majority of grooming in schools has to do around teaching kids that they are queer and non-binary and fucking with their heads to make them think they are a different gender than which they were born. I've exposed a ton of this stuff. I know exactly what it looks like. And so anyone that has followed my work knows that when I'm saying grooming is protected speech, where are the fucking lawsuits? Because the fact of the matter is that you might not like this stuff, but right now, it is absolutely constitutionally protected speech. And the reason that I know that it's constitutionally protected speech is because no one is suing the schools to stop it. If you think I'm wrong, and you pay taxes that support the public schools in this country, then it is incumbent upon you to go and sue the schools. Because I promise you, this is happening in every single school district in this country. It's not even hard to figure out. It's not hard to find. No, Trump isn't going to stop it. We'll talk about something that Trump said he was going to do that's good, but Trump has no plans to stop this. So you want to drag me on the internet after I've exposed more grooming in schools than Chris Brunet even understands is happening? Why isn't he suing the schools? Why isn't anyone suing the schools? They're not suing the schools because what the schools are doing is not against the law. And that is just the reality. And so if you want to change that, that's one question. If you want to fight the system to make the point, that is a different question, and that's something that I think I and many people would be pretty supportive of. But what Chris Brunet is doing is flailing around like a fucking child because he's pissed off that Nick chose me, bro. Nick likes me more than he likes Chris Brunet. Nick told everyone to unsubscribe from Chris Brunet's Substack because Chris Brunet was acting like an asshole. And Nick gave me a really nice shout out on his show, and he said that the minute that Chris Brunet went at me, he knew it was over. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'm going to pretend that's true, though. So Chris Brunet can eat a dick. Chris Brunet can eat my dick specifically, which I'm pretty sure is bigger than Chris Brunet's. And he can keep flailing on the internet, and no one cares, because guess what? He has totally and completely effed himself now. And good luck building that independent platform, Chris. I tried to help you, bro. I literally tried to help you. I tried to help you, and you just turned out to be a big-ass disappointment. So that's what's going on there. Let's go into more appropriate business. Let's see. The far left is already organizing around Trump. Okay, I want to talk about this real quick. Well, who knows? He could conceivably be a woman. Who knows? Who knows? Josh was flirting with Reagan. Reagan was very upset at my southern accent in the chat. Let me get my super chat, because we're doing actually good on super chats for today. We are $30 away from our super chat goal. Everyone's been so generous so far. So the first thing I want to say, yeah, the Carlin curse. Exactly. Chris Brunet never should have fucked with me. So the first thing I want to say is, listen, I may not have voted for Donald Trump, and I think everyone knows that, and I have my reasons for that, and I'm happy to answer questions about that if people have them. But that doesn't mean that I can't find joy in Trump winning. I do think it's the most entertaining possible outcome, and I do think it's going to be marginally better for us. Yo! Nathaniel! The notorious Nathaniel. So generous, Nathaniel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Look at that. We're already at goal. Goal! So I do have a soft spot for Trump. But even more than a soft spot for Trump, I have a soft spot for Scott Pressler. I've known Scott Pressler for like 5 years now. And people have mixed feelings about Scott Pressler, and I understand that, and some people don't like that he's gay, and you're allowed to have whatever feelings you want. But I'll tell you, like, Scott Pressler is one of the real ones, and Scott Pressler works harder than almost anyone. And I've talked about this many times on the channel. In 2022, Scott Pressler worked so hard, he literally put himself in the hospital by the 2022 midterms. And then what did he do? He got out of the hospital. He moved to Pennsylvania. He bought a house in Pennsylvania. He has spent the last 2 years running around the state of Pennsylvania to register as many people as possible. And I just really want people to take a moment to think about how impressive what Scott Pressler did was. Because one of the populations that he targeted specifically was the Amish. Now, why have conservatives never targeted the Amish before? That actually seems to make sense to me. Amish have very traditional values. Obviously, Amish are like who they are, part of their identity. They're not going to be voting for crazy leftist stuff. So why didn't anyone ever reach out to them? Why didn't anyone ever try to register them to vote? Well, guess what? Scott Pressler did. In 2020, 3,000 Amish people voted. In 2024, 80,000 out of 92,000 qualified voters. That's insane. That is insane. And I'm going to be honest. Like, if the Republican Party and the Trump administration don't show Scott Pressler some serious love, I'm actually gonna be like personally upset about that. What Scott Pressler has done is nothing short of a flipping miracle. And you know what? The thing about Scott is, it's like, he is proof that one person can make a difference. And yeah, he's got a lot of followers. And yeah, he has a lot of supporters, and it is all very well deserved. But he is proof that one person... Scott Pressler started out... Do you guys remember this? Scott, I remember from Scott Pressler from 5 years ago, he was like riding his bike everywhere and he had like a honk for Trump sign on his back everywhere. And everywhere he went, he had this sign on his laptop, like talking about voting for Trump and registering people to vote, and literally exactly. Scott also started out cleaning trash. Do you guys remember this? Scott did these big trash cleanups. It is unbelievable what that kid has done. And so if the Republican Party and the Trump administration don't treat him as though he is an absolute hero, I just don't know what to say, man. Because there is no one like Scott Pressler. Scott Pressler deserves all the accolades. And again, you might not like that he's gay. Okay, I understand that like some people have issues with that. I personally don't care. I love the gays. And the gays love me. I love the gays. And but his work is undeniable. And he did things that no one else was willing to do. And he absolutely deserves our respect. And I think someone gave him an SUV, which is pretty great. I think someone should give Scott a vacation. Can someone please send Scott Pressler somewhere tropical? Like, I think that'd be fabulous. Number 2, the media's opinion of the election result. Americans woke up today and chose violence. Yeah. Well, I guess that's one way to look at it, number 2. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. So just huge shout out to Scott Pressler. I hope that he's proud. I hope his parents are proud of him. I know that they are. But it's just an incredible thing, and I just wanted to take a moment to honor that. What else do we have? We got another super chat. Sharon! Thank you, Sharon. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for being so generous with the super chats today. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gearing up to go on my own vacation, on my own road trip, my working vacation, where I'm going to be creating content. But it's going to be something new, and so I do appreciate the super chats for that. Listen, so one of the reasons that I have been a little ambivalent about Trump is at best is that I don't actually think that Trump understands the far left. And that's one of the things that bothers me, because if you don't understand the far left, like nothing you actually do will do anything to defeat them. And while I don't think that Trump understands the far left, I was pretty happy to hear this announcement. And I want to just play for you what Trump, and this is what he's saying he's going to do starting basically day 1 of his new administration. Here is how Trump is planning on answering gender ideology. I want to listen to this quick video.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day 1, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures, and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. Furthermore, I will...
Hang on. We're being rudely interrupted. I don't know why we're being rudely interrupted, but we are being rudely interrupted. You were literally anti-Trump days ago. No, I wasn't. And anyone who says I was is simply not smart enough to be here. I literally been saying Trump was going to win for a while. I literally been saying, you know what, that might be an okay thing. But the reason that we're watching this video, and now I kind of feel like we have to start over again, because we've been rudely interrupted by a conservative sore fucking winner. And this type of attitude is why, and I actually do believe this, I don't think Trump's going to stop the far left. That was part of the reason I didn't vote for him. I don't think he has any chance of stopping the far left at all. You know the bigger reason I didn't vote for Trump? Fuck all these fucking retarded magatards. Seriously. Fuck all these people. Because the Trump sycophants, the Trump magatards, the retards that are now running around like, yeah, fuck you, you were anti... You make it impossible to support him. Because I don't want to be on the same team as you. I don't want to be on the same team as you at all. I don't want to be on the same team of the people who have been taking my face and my story all year long, something that happened to me 5 years ago, and using it to pretend I walked away from the Democratic Party today. I don't want to be on the same side of those people. I don't want to be on the same side as people as that are literally willing to get down on their fucking knees and suck Trump off no matter what he says, no matter what he does, no matter how many times he makes it clear that he is going to take us to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. Because you guys are the ones that are voting for war. You guys are the ones that are voting for abortion. You understand that, right? You guys are the ones voting for abortion. You guys are the ones that attack everyone that tries to tell the truth about Donald Trump. And I'm going to be very, very clear. Trump needs criticism. If Trump does not get criticism, he is not going to be better. And the campaign, yeah, see, the conservative retards don't even know what I'm talking about. This is part of the problem. Trump's campaign was awful. Trump's campaign was one of the worst things that I've ever seen. It is a goddamn miracle that he actually ended up winning. And had he been running against someone that wasn't Kamala Harris or wasn't a senile Joe Biden, he probably wouldn't have. That's how bad his campaign was. Trump spit in my face multiple times. Trump spit in the faces of people who have been supporting him since 2016 multiple times. And it didn't need to fucking be that way. And now you're here, even though I've never seen you in my chat before, saying, you're anti-Trump. I want Trump to be the fucking dictator that the left thinks he is. I want Trump to actually behave like a conservative. I want Trump to keep us out of foreign wars, not get us into foreign wars. I want Trump to crush the left under his fucking boot and never fucking apologize for it. You and people like you go along with all his pussy leftist bullshit. And yeah, I am saying that Trump acts like a leftist. Trump has been trying to appeal to Democrats and moderates the entire fucking time while spitting in the face of people on the right. That's why I didn't fucking vote for him. That's why. And if you aren't smart enough to understand that, you aren't smart enough to be here, get the fuck out. Because I will continue to criticize Trump. I will say when Trump is doing things that are correct, and I will give him praise. I will also absolutely criticize him if he is doing something that doesn't make sense, that supports the left, that isn't a conservative position, that's going to take us into war. I will absolutely fucking criticize him. And you can cry all you want about it. I don't really care, because everyone knows I'm fucking right. And that's the way it goes. All right, let's start this over again. Now we're going to talk about how Trump is handling gender-affirming care. Again, from the start.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
I thought that last point was particularly good, where Trump said, now there's a lot of stuff in there that I think are good, but I liked the last point that Trump made about encouraging Congress to pass a bill that the only genders recognized by the United States are men and women. That's actually right on point. That's actually the most important thing that needs to happen. Listen, I'm not suggesting that putting laws in place to protect kids from gender transition surgery. Seriously. Are we getting all the MAGA-tards in the chat today? Are we getting just a chat full of fucking MAGA retards today? Your politics bomb fields are as degrading. Go away. Go away. If my politics bored you, you wouldn't be here. You just leave. It's really that simple. No, gotta work out their feelings in my chat. I'm not suggesting that the things that Trump mentioned in terms of like protecting kids from gender transition surgery and medicalization, I think those are good. I think those are positive. I think those are necessary. I love that Trump wants to put in place things to basically allow detransitioners to sue the doctors that did this. I think that's phenomenal. I love the position of using the Department of Justice to investigate Big Pharma, to basically making permanent medical. You were never banned, so I don't know why you were saying you were banned. You were literally never banned. You were put in timeout because you were being a pain in the ass. We can repeat that process again, but you were never banned. Stop fucking lying. God, everyone has to be like an idiot on the internet. More than average viewers, so yes, the MAGA-tards are here, exactly. So the idea of investigating Big Pharma for making permanent medical patients of these kids, that's really good. And a lot of these things are going to act as deterrents, and so I'm in favor of all of that. However, the most important thing that Trump mentioned in this speech is making it the official position of the United States government that there are two genders, that they are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Why am I saying that's the most important thing? Pop quiz from my chat. Why am I saying that this is the most important thing that Trump can do? And it's not just about trans kids. This has really far-reaching implications in terms of fighting the far left. And quite frankly, had Trump come out and said this during the campaign, he probably would have gotten my vote. No joke. If Trump had just come out and said this, he probably would have gotten my vote. But he didn't, because he was playing games. We need to uphold the gender binary to uphold capitalism. It upholds capitalism. It upholds capitalism. Oh. Trump making horrible hiring decisions already. Susie Wiles, chief of staff. Susie Wiles can go fuck herself. That is one of the first horrible hiring decisions that Trump is going to make, and I'm sure he's going to make many other horrible hiring decisions. Fuck that bitch. Seriously. She's one of the people responsible for how bad Trump's campaign was. She's going to be awful. She's going to be a gatekeeper. This also, by the way, guys, this means that Trump's entire administration is going to be staffed with lobbyists. Trump's administration is not going to, this is another reason I didn't vote for him. Trump's administration is not going to be staffed with loyalists. It's not going to be staffed by the people who voted for him in 2016, the people who supported him through thick and thin. It's going to be staffed with lobbyists. Do you want to know why? Because Susie Wiles is a fucking lobbyist. So Trump invited the swamp in, and he made the swamp his chief of staff, which means nothing conservative is actually going to get done in this administration. I hope people understand that. This is why we need to criticize Trump. This is why. Because this shouldn't be happening. Anyway, back to this. We need the gender binary to uphold capitalism. The left wants to abolish the gender binary to destroy the nuclear family. The binary upholds capitalism because it upholds the gender binary. By extension, capitalism, no gender binary means no nuclear family. The left wants to abolish, yes, the left wants to abolish the idea of men and women. That's what we mean when we say the gender binary. That means men and women. Another term for that is the patriarchy. The left wants to get rid of that. Trump trying to make this the official position of the United States government puts a massive safeguard in place. And it's really important. The left wants to abolish the gender binary as part of their revolution, upholds the binary. The gender binary upholds the nuclear family and is contrary to Marxist goals. It reinforces the gender binary. Exactly, exactly. Look at all these right answers in my chat. Because queer wants to abolish the gender binary. Exactly. Queer communists want to abolish the gender binary to overthrow capitalism, protects the binary. Look at all the smart people I have in my chat. Look at all the smart people I have in my chat. I'm sure Nick is going to have some words about Susie Wilde later today. I'm sure that's going to happen. So, in my perspective, we need to do two things to make sure the left doesn't get their far left cultural revolution. One of those things is protecting the gender binary at all costs. The other thing is protecting the nuclear family at all costs. Most Trump supporters are pro-Israel. He won't lose them just to please anti-Semites like you. The MAGA-tards are really out today, aren't they? The MAGA-tards are really fucking out today. Hey, Sarah, guess what? You're not welcome here. Go away. My God. We're going to talk about the gender binary a little later because... Not the gender binary, excuse me, the nuclear family. Because for some reason... Hang on. For some reason... Alex Jones was talking about the nuclear family today. I don't know if what he said was accurate, but I heard about it, so I do want to review this from Alex Jones a little bit later and talk about his perspective on the nuclear family. But let's go back to this. So, couple thoughts. There are some people out there who are saying, guys, Trump should be the unity ticket. No. Trump should not be, no. I agree with Mike Davis here. I agree with him. There is no universe in which Trump or the GOP should be playing unity with the Democrats. There is no universe in which that should happen. And listen, man, I've seen Republicans do this. In my state of New Hampshire, back in 2021, when I was working to try to get an anti-critical race theory bill passed to get critical race theory out of schools, Republicans controlled the House of Representatives. Republicans controlled the Senate in the state. Republicans controlled the governorship. They literally had all branches. What happened? Chris Sununu started dicking around to compromise with the Democrats and the teachers' unions, completely watered down the anti-CRT bill to the point now where even though New Hampshire, had an anti-CRT bill, because it's now been struck down by the court, I think. But even when we had an anti-CRT bill, it was still being taught in the state, and the state wasn't doing anything about it. So Republicans love to do this stuff. Republicans will literally control every flipping branch of government and then say, hey guys, do you want to work with us? Can we give away some of our positions that we don't need to give away just so we make a few more Democrats happy? There is no reality in which they should be playing unity at all. If anything, the GOP needs to remove their heads from their asses and stop all the bullshit and the infighting. I'm not worried. The thing that I'm most worried about, because they're going to have a very, very, very narrow lead in the House of Representatives. I'm worried about the awful neocon kind of rhino conservatives that keep getting elected to these House seats. The same ones that, you know what I'm worried about? Do you know the conservatives that got Mike Johnson elected Speaker of the House? We could have had Jim Jordan, guys. We could have had Jim Jordan as the Speaker of the House. And it would have been awesome. But no, who ruined that? Was it Democrats? No, it was Republicans. And then Mike Johnson became the compromise choice to make everyone happy, and Mike Johnson sucks. Mike Johnson sucks. Thomas Massie didn't want to do it, though. Jim Jordan agreed to do it, even though he didn't really want to do it either. Thomas Massie didn't want to do it, guys. You cannot force someone to be the speaker if they're not going to do it. Thomas Massie's probably going to end up in a cabinet position. But Mike Johnson is a cuck, and he's awful. And the reason that we got Mike Johnson was not because of Democrats, it was because of conservatives. It was because the GOP sucks all of the time. And so the biggest thing that I'm worried about, to be honest, is, well, Trump's administration being staffed by lobbyists, number one. I'm also worried about the fact that these rhino, neocon conservatives are going to fuck everything up with their same old namby-pamby bullshit where they don't actually want to do anything productive. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Like, are they actually able to get anything done? Are conservatives able to remove their head from their asses and say, guys, we have all three branches of government. We have all three branches of government. Can we actually accomplish something here? Can we actually accomplish something for once? That would be pretty great. I don't think that'll happen, but I can hope. Let's see, what else do we have? Now, the left has already started organizing, and the right is already lying about it, by the way. First of all, we've got, I don't know who this person is, but she posted this video. This is leftist organizing in Chicago. Oh, it's from Stu Studio. We love Stu Studio. He is the best. Leftists are already out. Trump out, stand up, fight back. Look at this. What does this sign say? End the Trump era, stop white supremacy, community control of the police now, defund child protective, I think that's child protective services, CP, maybe that is. No, sorry. Defund Chicago Police Union, free police torture survivors. What does this sign mean, guys? What does this sign mean? Rottweiler says, Magatards, proof Trump is compromised. Shapiro, The Daily Wire, Rubin, etc. changed their tune the moment Trump implied they had to go to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. He is appeasing neocons. Yes, he is. Trump is appeasing the neocon among us. What does this sign mean? Abolish the police? Yup. They're attacking the system of capitalism? Yup. They oppose capitalism. These are socialists. They're beginning socialism, ending capitalism. Exactly. Brian Kraz retweeted that and said they were Dems. Well, then that's a really stupid position. That's a stupid... Guys, these are not Democrats. These are socialists. The sign means end capitalism, go socialism, go communism. It means abolish the police. Well, it's a good thing you can't speak lib because liberals are not socialists, bro. Communists are not socialists. And maybe come around the channel a little bit more. We'll teach you how to recognize this stuff. But liberals are not socialists. Liberals are not communists. They call the real socialists and communists call the Democrats neoliberals. They don't like liberals. They think liberals are too close to capitalism. Got to start learning about your enemy, folks. If you don't understand your enemy, you will never, ever, 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 ever defeat them. Really, because I am old enough to remember Benjamin Netanyahu speaking in front of Congress and demanding that the U.S. go to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. And I'm old enough to remember that almost every member of Congress got up and cheered. Mike Johnson cheered. They clapped. Yes, we must go to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. So stop making shit up. Stop making shit up. Because when Benjamin Netanyahu went to Congress to ask the United States government to go to war with Iran on behalf of Israel, almost everyone in the room applauded. So don't bring this shit here. We're smarter than that. Let's see, what else do we have? But come back to that maybe. Got some other protest groups. More footage from Stu Studio. Activists take to the streets to Chicago to protest Donald Trump being elected president. I think that Trump I'm going to speak very slow because you're obviously not very smart. Go watch Benjamin Netanyahu's speech in front of Congress several months ago. Can you find that on the internet, Dara? Or do I need to stop what we're doing on this whole stream to show you something because you can't Google it on your own? Are you capable, Dara, of going and finding Benjamin Netanyahu's speech in front of Congress? Because I covered it on my channel, Dara, so I know it's out there. Are you smart enough to operate a search engine? Can you go to ChatGPT and say, find me a video of Benjamin Netanyahu's speech in front of Congress? Can you do either of those things, Dara? Or do we have to stop everything that we're doing just to cater to you? Southpod, if you're not strapped, it's time to get strapped and start organizing. I've been saying that since the election. I appreciate that, Southpod. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Let's see. Oh, that's a little too much money. All right. So here's the thing, guys. I think that we are at a turning point in regards to the far left. Because I think that the biggest thing that I want to articulate today is that I think that Trump getting reelected has destroyed the Democratic Party. I think that Trump getting reelected has basically, and not only winning a decisive electoral college victory, but also winning the popular vote, also winning the House and the Senate. I think this has absolutely destroyed the Democratic Party. However, socialists are not Democrats. Communists are not Democrats. Socialists and communists have been protesting the Democratic Party all year long. So your average Democrats, your average progressives, they might be feeling a little dejected right now. They might be sad. They're crying on the internet. Everyone is showing these videos of these progressive TikTokers crying on the internet and doing all this stuff. The radical left isn't doing that. Real socialists and communists are not doing that. In fact, we've seen more than a few socialists and communists who are publicly saying that they're happy that the Democratic Party lost. Pop quiz for my chat. Why are real socialists and communists posting on the internet that they are thrilled beyond measure that the Democrats lost? Why would they be happy about that? After all, we've been hearing from conservative commentators for months and months and months. Kamala's a communist. Kamala's a communist. Kamala's a communist. So why are the real communists and socialists posting on the internet that they're thrilled beyond measure that Kamala Harris lost? They're happy because a Trump victory means they accelerate the revolution. Democrats are capitalists. Democrats are capitalists. They hate Democrats more than they hate Republicans because it means that people will become more radicalized and participate in the struggle. They see Democrats as a larger threat to them than they see Republicans. Democrats are too close to capitalism. They can recruit more of them to be socialists. The socialists do not like the Democrats. They think they're way too far right. Yep. Is it because they think Trump winning could help trigger the spontaneous revolution? Ding, 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 ding. Maybe not fully trigger the revolution, but they're going to use it to recruit. The real far left is going to be poaching from the Democratic Party like you guys have never seen before. This is going to radicalize the far left. Trump winning did not deject them in any way. They're not sad about it. They're energized. They're radicalized. They're already out protesting in the streets. They are going to be recruiting heavily from the Democratic Party. Do you know how I know that? Look at the talking points. This is breakthrough news. We might watch a little bit of this today. The real reason Trump won. The failure of the Democratic Party. Real socialists and real communists are going to be out there talking to Democrats, talking to progressives, saying, do you know why we're suffering through Donald Trump? Because the Democratic Party failed you. They will always fail you. They don't care about you. Come with us. And they're going to use this as an opportunity to radicalize as many people as possible. This is another reason, Teresa. Democrats did support Israel. That is another reason. That is another reason. Or did not support Israel. Sorry. Well, no, Democrats supported Israel. Socialists and communists do not support Israel. But, and Teresa, you know this, even though you pretend you don't know this, socialists and communists weren't going to vote for Democrats anyway. So it doesn't really matter. They weren't going to vote for them anyway. This makes no difference. Guys, first of all, colleges aren't pushing DEI. Organizations push DEI. Secondly, if you wiped out all DEI training from every organization, do you know what it wouldn't do? It wouldn't stop this. DEI is like 5 layers down. DEI is not even an important thing, to be honest. It's a low-level delivery mechanism for Marxism. Yep. This gives them a platform to gather new members from disenfranchised Democrats. Yep. You guys get it. You guys know. Yeah, according to James Lindsay, America survived communism. Well, James is retarded on a number of levels. Listen, Pamela, don't ever be afraid to get a wrong answer. I'm never going to yell at you guys for getting a wrong answer unless you've been around a long time and you get it really wrong. If you've been around a long time and I know you know the answer, I'll be angry. But like, I don't know you. You're new here, I think. So don't be afraid to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. Well, this is another problem, Chris. A big problem is conservatives are going to be way more complacent while the left is... And this is another problem. Wait. We have another MAGA-tard! Another MAGA-tard! Another MAGA-tard in the chat! Donald Trump is your president, whether you like it or not. Ha ha. Do you guys understand what I mean when I say these people are so fucking stupid? Do you really think that these people are going to beat the left? Ever? These people don't even know what they're watching. These people can barely read. These people aren't beating the left. Gotta ban him. Goodbye, bro. They also recruit from the right. I mean, they do sometimes. But I want to go back to this point. One of the things that I am afraid of is that Republicans, now that Trump is in office, they're going to go back to being lazy. Because Republicans and conservatives and the MAGA-tards, especially the MAGA-tards, are about to kick up their feet and they're like, Trump is going to save us and we don't need to do anything, and Trump is going to fix the problem and we don't need to do anything, and Trump is the great savior of America and we don't need to do anything. Good fucking luck. Good luck. Because Trump is not going to stop the far left. There is no universe in which Trump is prepared to deal with this, guys. He's just not. And you're going to see it as we, these protests are just the first shot. These protests are not as big as it's going to get. These protests are just what they've thrown together in the last week or so. I think we're going to have another summer of love. I think as soon as we're about to go into the winter, but as soon as the weather gets nice again, and as soon as they don't have school anymore, we're going to see another epic round of shit shows. And it's just going to keep going and going and going and going and going. And do you want to know why? because this is how they're going to recruit more people to their cause, which they never give up on, they never stop on, they are doing all the time. So I think that Trump winning has re-energized the far left in a way that we didn't even see after Joe Biden got elected. They didn't like Joe Biden, but they didn't really have anything to fight against. And I also think we've seen the transition from them focusing all their energy on Palestine to now refocusing all of their energy on Trump. Please, we need a place for MAGA. No. MAGA is not even smart enough to be in the land of retardia. We're going to send MAGA out onto, we're going to send them into a boat that's going to drown in the ocean. Non-violently, of course. Non-violently, of course. Let me see. I have a question. I'm not trying to argue, but I'm curious, why do they hate Democrats? No. This is not a stupid question for people who are new. Guys, for people who are new to my content, please ask these types of questions. Please, seriously. Socialists and communists hate Democrats because the number one enemy of socialists and communists is capitalism. Capitalism is specifically defined as private property ownership. What that means is your ability to own a home, your ability to own land, your ability to own an apartment that you rent out as a landlord, your ability to own intellectual property, your ability to own a private business, whether or not your private business is big or small, your parental rights are considered to be a form of private property, your individual liberties are considered to be a form of private property. Everything that I just said are things that I have real socialist and communist activists on video saying. So none of that comes from me. This is not my personal opinion. This is something I've heard the real far left say. The reason that socialists and communists hate the Democrats is because they believe that Democrats are too close to capitalism. Democrats uphold capitalism. The reason that socialists and communists hate the progressives is the same thing. Progressives uphold capitalism. You even look at people like Bernie Sanders and AOC. Socialists and communists hate Bernie Sanders and AOC because they believe that Bernie Sanders and AOC are traitors to their cause because they've capitulated to a system that upholds capitalism. Even the Democratic Socialists of America. The Democratic Socialists of America are not the real far left. Many of the real far left activist groups do not allow their members to be even members of the Democratic Socialists of America because they believe the Democratic Socialists of America are too close to capitalism. But there are caucus groups within the Democratic Socialists of America that are trying to pull the Democratic Socialists of America further left. So maybe they'll get their way. I mean, if all you're going to do is suck Trump's cock, then what you can expect is that the far left is going to win. So this attitude, and I'm going to be very blunt, this attitude, these people are going to win. All you want is to be able to afford a pizza? Bro, when these people win, they're going to take over the food supply. When these people win, you're not going to be able to order a pizza anymore. When these people win, your children are going to suffer because all you wanted was to be able to order a pizza. And these people are closer to winning than you think. And just because Trump got elected doesn't mean these people are going to stop. So if you don't want your kids to live in a Marxist utopia where they are very literally planning to overthrow the federal government, then it's time to broaden your perspective. It's time to zoom out and see there is a bigger picture that your conservative influencers have failed to tell you because they refuse. No. Can you order a pizza right now? See, this is another conservative retard answer. I'll be very blunt. This is another conservative. We already live in communism. They already control the food supply. I can go onto Domino's website right now and order a pizza and it'll be here in 20 minutes. Can you currently order a fucking pizza? Can you currently go to the supermarket and buy whatever fucking food you want. Because in their reality, that doesn't exist. In their reality, you don't have a private kitchen in your home. I have them on video talking about this. They already own it, guys. They already own it. Can you go to a private farm and buy a fucking chicken? Yeah, you can. See, this is the reason, guys. This is why the right loses to the left all the time. Many, many, many different groups, and no, I'm not talking about the Jews. This is why you lose. When the left gets their Marxist utopia, which is going to be probably within 15 years. 15 years. That is a like real timeline that they're on. Your kids are going to suffer in that. And I hope you feel satisfied when you look in the mirror and said, I just said they already controlled the food supply, so it didn't matter if they overthrew the federal government and then took over all of our food supply. Because when the real left wins, bro, you're going to get a ration card. You're going to go to the community canteen. You're going to get 2,000 calories a day of whatever food they tell you you're going to eat, and you're going to have no control over that. And you're going to be lucky if you get that 2,000 calories because God knows they probably don't actually know how to be farmers. So I hope you feel real good about yourself when that happens. This is why we don't say, we're already in socialism. No, we're not. No, we're not. Yup. Yeah. Yeah. You should be. Yeah. This is real. It's happening all around us right now. We're going to be watching a leftist organizing call in an hour and 15 minutes. We watch this stuff all the time. You should be scared. New people, the reason Carlin gets irritated by people in the chat is because even after she teaches and corrects people's incorrect ideas, they double down on the wrong ideas. Well, that is one of many reasons why I do get annoyed with people in the chat. But this is serious, guys. This is serious. If you're listening to people who are saying, Trump is going to get rid of these people, this is just a couple of people, they aren't that many of them. There are so many more radical revolutionary leftists than most people understand because conservative media doesn't cover it. This is all that I do, is cover the far left. This is all that I do. I know how many there are. I know what their organizations are. I know who the key activists are. And it's so much worse than most people realize. And Trump is not going to save you from this. I'm really sorry if you expect him to. Trump is not going to save you from this. Pamela, sorry about that. Pamela agrees Trump is not going to save us. Pamela, I thought I saw another question from you. I can't find it now. Do you see any movement right now to move against the board? Guys, even if Trump does abolish the Department of Education, that's not going to solve the problem. That was never going to solve the problem. The Department of Education is just one puzzle piece, and it does need to be abolished, and it would be good if Trump did it. That's not going to solve the problem. Abolishing the Department of Education, I think we talked about this earlier, abolishing the Department of Education doesn't actually impact what's taught in schools. Abolishing the Department of Education doesn't change the curriculum. Abolishing the Department of Education doesn't get woke out of schools. Taking over any board of education doesn't do anything to the curriculum. The only states that actually affects the curriculum are Vermont and Connecticut. It doesn't affect the curriculum anywhere else. What happens to marriages in the socialist utopia? Pamela, that's an in-depth question. I highly recommend you watch my Abolish the Family content Marriages would likely still exist, but not in the way that you currently know them, because they want to queer the nuclear family. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to watch some Alex Jones stuff on that. So the nuclear family would not exist as you currently think of it. That's not to say marriage wouldn't exist. Well, actually, I don't know if marriage would exist, honestly. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. But if it did exist, it would not be in the way that you currently think of it. I'm only saying that because if he knew the threat really was, he would. Well, and this is exactly right. Trump didn't talk about any of this on the campaign trail, and that is part of why I didn't vote for him. No, 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 wrong. Why is Echo wrong? Why is Echo wrong? Got a couple other things here. Actually, this is a perfect one. We got this person posting on Twitter. Where did these huge crowds of people magically appear from with signs? Where did they get those signs, guys? What's wrong about this? Guys, we're moving on from the marriage question. What's wrong about this? And by the way, Echo, I'm not trying to pick on you. This is a common conservative misperception, again, because your influencers have lied to you. I follow real radical revolutionary socialist groups. Boots on the ground activists. Your conservative influencers have lied to you, and you're going to learn how they've lied to you from my chat. You're not going to hear from me. You're going to hear from the chat. The radical left are not WEF or Soros funded. Socialists are almost all self-funded by a few different sources, but they usually fund their own movement. There are no big donors. It's funded by publishing and donations and people signing up with monthly fees. The protesters are self-funded. Membership dues. They sell swag. They own bookstores. They publish books. They run trainings. They run conferences. They get donations. They support themselves. They're able to operate on a low budget. I don't know in what universe people think that signs are expensive to print. In what universe do people think that signs are expensive to print? Have you guys never heard of a Kinko's? Have you guys not, I can get something printed at Staples, or I can fucking go to my CVS and get something printed. Most of these signs they probably already had. It's not hard to get signs printed, guys. It doesn't take big donations to do it. It's just you send it to Kinko's. Or Vistaprint if you're getting really fancy. It'll be done in a couple days. They're not globalists. Most of them made the signs themselves. That's one of the ways they're fighting them, Pamela, are funding themselves, Pamela. Good. This is an actual grassroots movement. The left funds themselves. They're funded and the signs are cheap to make. Because their activism and organizations are funded by members with a duty amounting to a day or two of paid wages per month. Yup. The radicals are self-funded. They're self-funded. They're organized and dedicated. This is their life. They're self-funded. Do you guys get it? They're self-funded, guys. They're not, this is not Soros. This is not the WEF. This is a different thing. Soros funds progressives. He doesn't fund radicals. These are radicals. Homeless people, yeah, even homeless people make signs. Exactly. Cons talking about the food supply, don't know what breadlining yet. They screech nonstop about the USSR and Mao's China. We're not like that yet. Yeah, exactly. People have got to stop saying that we're already living in socialism. We are not living in socialism. You can buy a home right now, guys. You can buy land right now. You still have parental rights over your kids. Every single time people say we're living in socialism, they're letting the left win. The small quota grassroots movement. No. Wrong. See, this is the dissidence that takes place because conservative pundits have so massively misinformed their audience. Then their audience comes here, guys. They're like, guys, they're all funded by George Soros. These are just onesies and twosies. No. Wrong. We literally just told you. Every person that just told you you're wrong has been watching the radical revolutionary far left with me for years. You're new here. You probably have never even seen these groups before. You probably have no idea who these groups are. I am begging everyone that is new here, or maybe you've come back for the first time in a while, I am begging you guys to actually start listening to the real far left. Actually start listening to them, because your conservative pundits are lying to you, and I know they're lying to you based on this. This is not real. This is conservative bullshit propaganda. Either you accept it and you start listening and you learn about your real enemy, or you and your kids are going to be fucked. Every time. Every time. Patrick, welcome back. We're glad to have you. We are not living in socialism. We're living in inflation. That's exactly right, Pamela. Exactly right. Yeah, some of us actually go undercover at their events. Multiple of us go undercover at their events. Who do you think funds conservative media and influencers? Israel. It's all lies, grifts, and money. It is. That's true. What else do I have? Andy No has been putting out some fire content. Andy No is really on top of things, guys. Look at this. The Black Rose Anarchist Federation, a far-left extremist group, has released a guide on how to use Trump's second term as a way to recruit, radicalize, and send out trained extremists to shut down the ability of the future administration to carry out its promises of governance. Look at this. They've already got guides ready to go. We're going to be reviewing a lot of these guides. Many are going to be open to developing a systematic critique of capitalism and the state. Oh. As we saw with the first Trump term, millions of people will now be looking for places to channel their frustration. Many of them are going to be open to developing a systematic critique of capitalism and the state. Let's see. Well, I don't think he can do that, though. I don't think he can publicly associate with me. That would annoy his supporters. Well, not his supporters, but it would annoy the wrong people. But I adore Andy No. I have nothing bad to say about Andy No. I adore Andy No. I think he does an awesome job. Let's see. Look at this. Party from Socialism and Liberation. Trump wins as the Democratic Party moves farther right. They're using this to recruit guys. Couple other things. Anyway, I want to watch this video about Alex Jones was talking about abolish the family today. Do you guys mind if we watch this? It's real quick. I want to see what Alex Jones had to say about this. For people who might be new, I've created more abolish the family content than pretty much anyone else on the internet. If you go back and look into my archives on my YouTube channel, just search abolish the family on my YouTube channel. I have a massive amount of abolish the family content. Abolishing the nuclear family is one of the primary goals of the radical revolutionary far left, because they believe the nuclear family upholds capitalism via something called social reproduction theory, which essentially means that social systems will reproduce themselves until they are disrupted. And that means the nuclear family is literally reproducing the capitalist system and capitalist values. That's why they want to destroy it. And Alex Jones talked about this today on his show, and I want to see how much he got right.
But they are also preparing to strip power.
So
Have you heard? The world's about to end.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
Paul Ehrlich may have lived long enough to see some of his dire prophecies come true.
But his dire prophecies, again and again, turn out to be wrong.
In the next 15 years, the end will come. And by the end, I mean an utter breakdown of the capacity of the planet to support humanity.
His bestseller, which sold an amazing 3...
Hang on. I got a chat over on Rumble from Media Crew, which I'm very new here. Can you explain why the true believers actually think their socialist utopia will be awesome for them? Because they do. Because socialists believe that all oppression is created by capitalism. All all socialists believe that all problems are created by capitalism. They believe that if they get rid of capitalism, it's going to be better for everyone. They really do believe this. No, they don't believe that real socialism and communism has ever been tried. You cannot argue with them. You cannot convince them otherwise. You just have to accept that this is actually what they do believe. I have them on video saying this. 19 Ways from Sunday. Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt, but Nick just appeared on mainstream media because he's... Where did he appear, Gwen? What mainstream media had Nick on it? Shout out Nick Fuentes, king of the election.
Million copies said nothing can prevent a substantial increase in the world death rate. That was comically wrong. Today, there are 4 billion more people.
Why is
the
this?
death rate fell dramatically.
He wants you to believe you're dead. He wants you to believe it's hopeless. He wants you to give up. He wants to demoralize you.
What does this
And he gets up on TV in the late 70s and says, we're going to control all the TV programs and put out nothing but images as fathers is bad to break up the family. See? And they did it. It's not like he's some nut.
Bro, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. First of all, those two things are not related. Whether or not we are a socialist country has nothing to do with whether or not you retards are completely incapable of criticizing someone that absolutely deserves to be criticized. So no, you might not be smart enough to be here, but saying just because if America isn't socialist, that means we aren't really in a cult. No, fuck you. That's how I feel about that. You might not be smart enough to be here. You're welcome. Guys, as a reminder, if you're new to my channel, I do require an IQ of at least 100 to be here. It just makes things nicer to everyone. Nick is on NBC News. Is Rachel Maddow going to be complaining about Nick tonight? Please, please, please. Can Rachel Maddow please complain about Nick tonight? Can I be given that gift? Man, 2-day hangovers are the... Yo, I had no idea. I had no idea 2-day hangovers were a thing. I really didn't know. I know now. I've learned my lesson.
Just saying this, they've done it.
It's
all right,
government
goodbye.
handouts.
Go away.
A mother with 2 children makes more money than she would make on minimum wage because of all the goodies she gets through the welfare state. In 1965, 25% of Black kids were raised without fathers. The number is now 70%. And Black Lives Matter actually is encouraging that.
Their website does criticize the Western prescribed nuclear family. Karl Marx said things like that.
One of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter has admitted that she is a trained Marxist.
Oh, for
myself
fuck's sake.
and Alicia in particular.
We're still dealing. I do need water. Well, I haven't had a chance to drink water. I've been talking for an hour and a half. I do have some coffee right here. I'll be drinking one. Are we still seriously talking about Black Lives Matter? Seriously. The number one argument that Alex Jones has for the left wants to abolish the nuclear family is Black Lives Matter had it in their goals. Can I get a collective round of like face palms in the chat? Because, and again, new people might not understand this. First of all, Black Lives Matter is currently a non-entity. Black Lives Matter is over. More or less. The left doesn't talk about Black Lives Matter anymore. The left, the only thing that is kind of still around is Black Lives Matter in school. But this, what Alex Jones is showing right now, this is over on the left. They don't talk about this anymore. These people aren't involved anymore. They're non-entities. They got basically excommunicated with all the fundraising scandals and all that stuff. If the Black Lives Matter movement did boil up again, it would be completely without the Black Lives Matter organization. And by the way, abolish the family goes so far beyond Black Lives Matter, it's ridiculous. And there's so much better evidence out there for what's going on than Black Lives Matter. So please, please, in the rest of this 6-minute video, please give me something that's not Black Lives Matter.
Particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
Question, this is modern day Marxism, they're not trying to sell it economically because they can't. We have such a large middle class. Americans know where prosperity comes from. So they're selling their communism through a social agenda, which includes the breakdown of the family. If they can tear down the
turning point. Of course, all the behind the times people are at Turning Point USA. Of course.
family, they can take the children. If they can take the children, they can succeed in taking the nation. They know that. Mao Zedong knew it. Joseph Stalin knew it. And
that's not why they want to abolish the family. They want to abolish the family because they believe that the family is the literal means of reproduction of capitalism. And if they can disrupt the nuclear family, then they can disrupt capitalism. This is all so old. This is so disappointing.
The leftists and the teachers' unions and the LGBTQ agenda, they all know it as well.
The globalists know this whole Malthusian depopulation plan isn't about saving the earth.
Radical revolutionary socialists are not the same thing as Malthusians. Malthusian are the WEF globalists. That is not the same as the radical revolutionary socialists who are trying to abolish the family in the U.S. Completely different groups, guys. Completely different groups. You were telling Candace viewers about my work. I appreciate you, Love Cat. Thank you.
It's about them having the right to kill and control anybody they want and to shut off energy to people to consolidate power. And they do want to get rid of publicly 90%. Real numbers we've gotten is they want to get rid of everybody. They say humans are over. They're about to merge the machines and become gods. This is totally satanic. It's out of control.
I'm going to be having a stern talking to with Stony Baloney. I'm going to tell you that because Stony Baloney sent me this clip and I said, does Alex Jones know anything? And he said, yeah, he does. And I'm like, this is completely wrong. Has nothing to do with the abolish the family movement in the U.S. You know, I can make a mistake too, Love Cat. I get a lot of shit on the internet. I try to do the best I can. I appreciate you, though. Yeah, according to James Lindsay, the globalists are Hegelian wizards. Yeah, has Alex Jones been listening to James Lindsay? That's probably part of the problem.
And it is not the dominant, but the culture at the UN and Davos.
Oh my God.
And the Club of Rome. It's not like the dominant culture, it's the culture.
There's nothing dumb about what the
Hang on. Oh shit. The nuclear family was a mistake.
Rome. It's not like the dominant culture, it's
the family structure we've held up as the cultural idea for the past half century.
The culture
has been catastrophic. What does that mean? The family structure we've held up as the cultural ideal for the past half century. First of all, can we comment on the fact that they think the nuclear family's only been around for 50 years? Why has the nuclear family been catastrophic according to the left? Pop quiz. It has nothing to do with the Malthusians, it has nothing to do with the globalists, has nothing to do with anything satanic. The nuclear family perpetuates capitalism. It is catastrophic for collectivism. That's 50 years of the Fordist nuclear family. The nuclear family means that you can pass generational wealth. Generational wealth is private property that creates inequities. Inequities is a hierarchy. That means the haves versus the have-nots, the oppressors versus the press, the bourgeois versus the proletariat. Means free reproductive labor, the unpaid reproductive labor of women. It upholds capitalism. It upholds capitalism. Because it upholds capitalism, it has to do with the inheritance of private property. That too, it also upholds capitalism. Well, the family unit itself is considered to be a privatized unit. Because the privatized family allows people to amass private wealth and have access to the resources of their family's private wealth. So the family unit in and of itself is private property. Parental rights are also considered to be private property. Exactly.
There's nothing dumb about what these people are doing. The dumb mother is Joe Biden. Had they had a competent leader in there, let's say they had a Barack Obama, they would look at that guy and they would say, dude, that guy's a traitor. So they needed someone who looked incompetent to do what they've done. And that's another reason why they're pushing Kamala now, because the job isn't done, which coincidentally is their slogan. Let's finish the job.
Our economic plan is working. We now have to finish the job, but there's more to do.
Biden stole the election 2020.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud.
This is so bad. I need to take away Stony Baloney may have his decision-making privileges removed after this. This is the domain of Sophie Lewis, the author of Abolish the Family, the Manifesto for Care and Liberation in 2022. Reading it now, interesting insight. Yeah, Sophie Lewis is one of our favorite Abolish the Family socialists. Emmy O'Brien is Abolish the Family socialist. Chidi Badahari is Abolish the Family socialist. We've covered all of these people on my channel before. Yeah, this is WEF conservative nonsense is what this is.
Organization in the history of American politics.
Now they're finishing up organizing that, and they will move into high gear with all the things they believe will destabilize things and create enough fear to keep them in power. So they're going to strengthen the powers of the executive if they get their puppet in, but they are also preparing to strip powers from the Supreme Court by packing the court and adding a whole bunch of new members that they control. So they've got all these things pre-programmed, ready.
Yeah, well, I think we've got all the Democrats who are ready for meaningful ethics reform to bind the Supreme Court. And we're working on changes to the Supreme Court. It can be term limits. It could be adding the number of justices, things we can do without having to have a constitutional amendment. Here is a man who's been a transformative president. He's got an enormous amount done, and yet he has stepped away and he has passed the torch.
And then when they're ready to deliver the meal of tyranny, they pull out the meal and they serve the poison feast. I respectfully ask you to pay attention to what I'm about to say.
That's it. That's what bro. I feel like I've just been trolled by Stony Baloney for even watching this video. I'm not happy about that. I'm going to have a talk with him later because that was a whole lot of nothing. That was a whole lot of nothing. Alex Jones does not understand abolish the family activism. He does not understand any of it at all. That was not good. That was not good at all. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because, hang on, we have a spy stream in about 45 minutes. Now, a spy stream, if you've never been to a spy stream before, basically I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna go drink some water. I'm gonna go get some tea. I'm gonna make sure my throat's feeling good. No. Trendlin, no. Yep. Stony Baloney is usually great, but he was not great this time. We all make mistakes. I made mistakes. But guys, I'm going to come back in about an hour and we're going to do spy stream. We're going to do it on the YouTube channel, on the Rumble channel, on X. It is going to be a public spy stream. Most of my spy streams are not public. We are going to be going inside a live leftist training. It's called Making Meaning of the Moment. This is going to be organized by the Party for Socialism, the Working Families Party. It's a different socialist political party. And apparently a lot of different progressive groups are going to be involved in this. You guys can't see that because I'm not showing you the right thing. There it is. So we're going to be going inside this training tonight. We're going to see what real leftist activists are saying when they think people like us aren't listening. We're going to hear what the real far left has planned. Come back in about an hour and you can do this live with us on the internet. You can find out more information on my Substack, which is Carlin, KARLYN.substack.com. You can also check out my latest podcast where I go in depth on what I think about Trump winning and what that means for the radical far left. Will be a little bit of a rehash from what you heard on this, but I go into more depth in the podcast. The Actively Unwoke podcast is available on iTunes. It's available on Apple Podcasts or whatever. Spotify, you can find the link on the Substack. Carlin is always right. I know. It's true. It's true. I'm going to play the cool outro music, Robert. Don't worry about it. If you want to support the work I'm doing, guys, one of the very best ways to do it is by heading over to the Substack, signing up for $8 a month, $80 a year. I am 100% grassroots funded by people just like you, and I can't do this without your help. So thank you for the super chats. Thank you to everyone who sent in money. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys in advance for subscribing to my work over on Substack. And if you want to get some cool swag, head over to the Unwoke Art Store. I have the best merchandise store on the internet, and in honor of Trump winning, I have brought back for a limited time only a few Trump favorites, including the iconic golden Trump mug. Now, if you're looking for Christmas gifts, trust me, this is going to be a crowd pleaser. The Golden Trump is one of my best-selling mugs of all time. It says, always get the last laugh on it. People are going to, Trump certainly did get the last laugh this time. We've also got the Golden Trump tumbler. We've got the icon design. We've got the Trump Indictment Victory Tour design. And guess what? We've even got wrapping paper. We've got wrapping paper. Listen, I did wrapping paper last year for Christmas, and a bunch of people bought it, and they said their relatives love this wrapping paper. I'm going to be launching a few other more designs. What the hell is wrong with you? Always with this bullshit, bro. Get a hold of your fucking emotions, conservatives. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. These people. Anyway. You can get all that stuff in the Unwoke Art Store, and when you spend over $100 or more, you're going to get automatically 15% off your order because I'm going on a road trip, and I need to fund that road trip somehow. So you guys are going to, when you get some cool merch, you get some cool Christmas gifts for your family. Listen, you win and I win. So spend over $100 or more in the Unwoke Art Store, and you will automatically get 15% off your whole order. We've also got some Marxism is Evil stuff. We've got all sorts of amazing merch in the Unwoke Art Store. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got notebooks, we've got bags, we've got sweaters, we've got all sorts of stuff. We've got stickers. Go get some merch, guys, if you feel like it. If not, that's fine too. Anyway, I'm going to go take a little break. I will be back in about 45 minutes. And we're going to do our spy stream. That's all I have for right now, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.
How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
17.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.